Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books. Well, today we're talking about how Marvel is planning to ruin Daredevil. We've already seen Marvel do their Disney Plus version of Daredevil in She-Hulk. I don't think a lot of people liked it. I think a lot of people were disappointed with it. I wasn't too impressed, and while I like Daredevil a lot, I don't see him in the yellow and red costume. That's just not working out. All the NETFLIX costumes looked fine to me. Even Ben Affleck's costume, that was fine too. This didn't work. It was the first one I saw didn't work. Of course, you had to put him in She-Hulk. There's a good article on this in Bounding Into Comics. Let's get into this article. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. The channel's growing. You guys have been great. I really appreciate you. Charlie Cox confirms Daredevil Born Again will attempt to appeal to a slightly younger audience. So instead of the 30 plus, they're going to be going for 8-year-olds? Are we going to see Muppets? Perhaps? Kermit the Frog? Anything is possible. If you know, let me know, but let's see what the article says about it. Much to the dismay of very few fans who were still holding out hope that the Man of Fear would survive his jump to the Marvel Cinematic Universe without being Marvelized, Matt Murdock actor Charlie Cox has confirmed that rather than continue in the spirit from his original Netflix series, Disney Plus's upcoming Daredevil Born Again will attempt to appeal to a slightly younger audience without losing what we've learned about what worked. Now that's a good attitude to say, hey, we're going to do it even better. We're going to get a broader audience. But when it comes to Disney executing on things, especially with Marvel, it's always a disappointment. This is why, a lot of us don't even watch this stuff anymore. But let me know if you agree or if you disagree in the comments below. The Spider-Man No Way Home actor spoke, because of course he was in that movie, during a recent interview given to NME in promotion of his upcoming Netflix spy thriller series, Treason. This isn't a recent interview, NME, this is the website. This just came out a couple days ago, December 22nd. So it's pretty recent. And it's kind of shocking when he talks about how little he actually knows, except for the talking point of appealing to a younger audience. Whatever that means. Maybe there'll be skateboards. They're not actually preparing him for the show. The show is shooting in February 2023. It's the end of December now. Wait till you find out how little they're telling him about the show. Sharing his excitement in returning to the role of Daredevil for Disney Plus, Cox explained to NME's Ollie Richards that although Born Again may share some actors with Netflix's Daredevil, it would present a take on the character different from the one that fans have come to know and love. Well, this has to be a reincarnation. It has to be different. Otherwise, why are we doing it? Sure, but when you actually get to the point that you're doing a superhero project and it works in episodic television, and they were doing it for $3 to $4 million an episode, which is actually very cheap compared to what they're paying now, $25 million per episode for every Disney Plus show. You should stick with what works. Noting that the widely panned version of Daredevil seen in She-Hulk Attorney at Law was more, quote, quick-witted and funny and charismatic and carefree at times, Cox then admitted, "My opinion is this character works best when he's geared towards a slightly more mature audience. My instinct is that on Disney Plus, it will be dark, but it probably won't be as gory." No one cares about gory or not gory. You can recreate Daredevil and not have Daredevil have gory scenes. You don't need to show blood, whatever. It has to have that dark tone. In light of this prediction, Ollie asked Cox if he had any words for the many fans who found themselves disappointed by the lighter tone Born Again is reportedly taking. Quote, "I would say to those people, we've done that. Let's take the things that really work, but can we broaden? Can we appeal to a slightly younger audience without losing what we've learned about what works? Well, can we? We can, but will Disney Plus do that?" And it's interesting he says that because, again, he really knows very little about what's going on with the show. Check this out. Wrapping up his thoughts on his return to the red tights, which we don't even know if it's going to be the red tights or if it's going to be the yellow and red costume, Cox revealed that while he knows that the series will start shooting in February 2023 and finish in December 2023, he's unaware of any details regarding its plots, scripts, or characterizations. That is an incredibly big red flag, or maybe red and yellow flag. It's a big red flag because look, it's the end of December. This interview was done December 22nd. February is not that far away. What is it, 2 months? I mean, it could be beginning February. Even if it's the end of February, it's like 8-9 weeks or something. So shouldn't he have some scripts to prepare? The other thing too is in production, you don't just have final scripts, you have treatments, that are like summaries of what you expect to have happen. It doesn't have all the dialogue and things like that, but they explain to you basically what's going to be going on. Also, it's 18 episodes. So this has to actually be planned out pretty extensively. It's not just like 4 or 5 episodes or 6 episodes or something like that, or some Marvel special. It's not a special presentation. 18 episodes, you kind of need to know what the treatments are, and you have to have like probably some finished scripts. And being that he's playing Daredevil, he's not like in a bit part. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Does it make sense? Marvel hasn't shared with him like what his scripts are, what the material is, what the themes are. Is it going to be based on any of the comic book arcs? Because if so, you could give him the comics. If it's going to be more legal stuff, which we've heard some about, that they're going to do more of the legal part of the show. Okay, if you're going to do that, like, well, what are the cases? And then what case law is it going to reference? Because he could actually read that stuff. But if he's just going to walk in February and they're going to give him some scripts and say, okay, hey, we're doing this tomorrow. Like, is that what they're doing? It gives you some insight into how Marvel is doing business producing these shows. It's not just that they're rushed or the CGI is bad. It's completely disorganized. This is not how you run any kind of professional production. Though this is the first time that Cox has offered insight into Daredevil's upcoming change in character, the actor has previously suggested that Daredevil Born Again will be a completely different show from what many fans were hoping for. Quote, it's a season 1, it's not season 4, so it's a whole new thing, said Cox during the 2022 D23 Expo, which I think is the way to go. If you're going to do it again, do it differently. I mean, for the love of God, for him to send this messaging that as the actor, he supports them doing it, quote, differently, he has to have been paying some attention to what Disney's been doing with its intellectual properties lately. When he sees differently, he's going to see very differently. I don't know anything. I haven't seen a script, he added. My feeling is, based on the title Born Again, I think that the sense is it's a new beginning. It's going to be different. It's going to be totally different. It's going to be new stories, new ideas. Born Again starts shooting in February 2023, so they may want to start getting a hold of some of those scripts, sharing them with Charlie Cox so he can be prepared. That would be good. It's pretty strange they're going to do this. I can't wait to see what the budget is for these shows. It'll come out someplace, eventually somewhere. The budget was between $3 and $4 million for the Netflix shows, and those were fine. But Disney loves to spend $25 million an episode on every Disney Plus show, so I would expect that's probably what the budget's going to be, or it's going to be something close to that. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below. Do you think they're going to be ruining Daredevil? Do you think that what we saw with the She-Hulk Daredevil is going to basically be what we're going to get, perhaps even worse? Always appreciate your comments and your ideas. Really good. And also, sometimes you guys have sources I haven't seen, and I really appreciate you sharing those as well with everybody. All right, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.